Mm, Things have been super juicy and super energetic lately. There is so much energy moving around for me, for all of us, for the collective. We've got the equinox tomorrow. We've got so many things happening, so many things unfolding, at least in my life, in the life of clients and people who are coming into my sphere like you. A lot of things are rapidly changing for the better. And a lot of times you may find yourself looking at your life and realizing that things are quite different than maybe you imagined, or things are different than they were just like a couple weeks ago, yesterday, a couple months ago. I know that's been the case for me. And the more that I lean in and the more that I trust the process and really anchor into self trust, belief, and faith, the faster things are moving. Now, of course, there's nuances to all of this, meaning, the harder you try for something, the more you hold on, the tighter your grip. It's like the slower those things happen and unfold. And so I am so grateful because there are so many things. So let me give a couple of updates real quick on what is on the table. And if you are just arriving to the live stream and you have a question that you want to ask from the Akashic Records, from the record keepers, plop that in the chat. The best questions are ones that are more open-ended, that use how or why or what. Anything that is like a win. When am I going to get married? When am I going to get that job? When am I going to things like that that have like specific, answers like, oh, it's going to happen in May. That type of thing is not really a good fit for the Akashic Records. Of course, you can always ask those questions. Just know that it is like cutting off a little bit of the energy to what is possible when you open yourself up more into the possibility of what could be there for you and open up energetically and open up your heart to what answer may come through. And I mean, even with what I shared at the very beginning of this, the more you can let go and trust the process, trust that whatever is coming through today is in your highest and best good, as well as always, you have the opportunity to use your discernment and pick what resonates and leave what doesn't. And this recording will be up. And especially if you do a one on one reading with me, or if you work with me in a transformational coaching, it's not even coaching, but like a mentorship guide with the Akashic Record Keepers, if you work with me in a container like that, you have the recordings. So you can always go back and re listen. Because, like, for example, today, for those of you who are going to receive a little mini reading today, you're going to hear and perceive certain things as you're listening to whatever guidance is coming through for you. And there will be ways that you're going to interpret that message today based on this moment, how you're feeling, and even potentially some of the attachments that you may have, or maybe or don't know attachments you may have to what you feel like the answer could or should be. So it's always good to revisit and re-come back to after a sleep or two, after you've had a chance to really sit with this and come back and listen, fresh ears, fresh energy, and all of that. So if you have a question and you're here on live and you are looking for the experience of the Akashic Records to receive a mini reading, drop that in the chat. I'm going to be doing a couple different things. I'm basically following my intuition as to who to like wherever, like what happened last time, because I go live. If this is your first time here, I go live on the 11th and the 22nd of every month. And so on the 11th, when I did this, I saw certain names like light up, and those are the ones that I went to. And that's how I answer the question. So I didn't answer them. Rephrase. That's how I channeled from the record keepers what would come through for you for your highest and best good. And so yeah, drop your questions in the chat. I have something very well. Let me give a couple of updates here. So update number 1 is I am going to be teaching and training others on how to access the Akashic Records, both for themselves and to open the records for others. And I truly believe that if you are guided to this work and opening the records for others is something that is a possibility for you, that's on the radar for you, that's of interest for you, even if you don't do it professionally, there is a lot to be gained from that experience because not only does it give you the opportunity to really hone in and grow your intuitive abilities and skills, it also helps you to understand and further build a relationship with the record keepers. And so, if that's something of interest to you, the first round I'm going to be doing is going to be like super, how do I want to say this? Like super low key, yet at the same time, it's going to be really powerful. And what I mean by low key is I'm not going to, it's going to be channeled and guided as we go. I was just pulling through some of the details for it today. So this is for very specific people who are meant to come on this journey right now. And then after this round, there's going to be a little more like formalization of it. And as that unfolds, it will be more like publicly shared for, you to be like, oh yeah, I definitely want to do that. I'll hop in. Okay. So if that's something you want to explore, hit me up on Instagram at the Akashic Nomad. If you're arriving, drop your questions in the chat and I will get to those for your questions for the Akashic Records. I have another update. So I ran a live experience. You've probably heard me mention this before of 7 weeks of magic. And this was a deepening of the connection to yourself, a deepening of the connection and feeling what it's like to really come back into your body and into embodiment back in home and to begin to strengthen or continue to strengthen the trust with your intuition. And the name of that program is 7 Weeks of Magic. It is a group experience, and I will be running another one of those here soon in the, let's say, somewhere here in the back half of the year. The first thing is going to be the Akashic Records, and then the second thing is going to be running another live experience for that. So once again, if you're interested in these things, reach out to me because everything that I'm doing is about energetic alignment and fit. And so if it's not a good fit, there will be no pressure. It's not about that. I want to make sure that this is a hell yes for you. It's a hell yes for me, and it's a good fit overall. Jorge, of course, thank you for sharing and showing up. Thank you. I appreciate it. Jorge, if you have a question, go ahead and drop it in the chat. All right, so 7 Weeks Magic, reach out to me if that's something that interests you. The next thing I'm going to share, and this is something I have not done yet for these live readings, is this is something I do when I work with my clients one-on-one, is when we work in a container one-on-one, the very first meeting is an Akashic record reading that also includes integration. And so it's a pure reading followed by like, all right, what was there that we want to really lean into, that we want to understand deeper, that we want to really integrate and embody over these 7 weeks together. And we start to set the intentions, and then we meet weekly. And before I meet with my one-on-one clients, I will get into their records. And of course, they have completely agreed to this, is I will get into their records ahead of time and see what message is in the highest and best good for them. What is the intention for the session? What is it that we are going to work on? And so I had a nudge to do that today. And I got into the records before coming on here to see what is the message that's in the highest and best good for those of you who are here both live and even those of you who watch the replay, whether it be now in these days when this is recorded or sometime in the future. And so I'm going to share that with you now. And yeah, Jorge, lovely. I'm glad you're here to do an Akashic record reading. So if you want to do it here on the live, then type your question in the chat. And the better questions are one that are more of like, what can I know about this, or how, or why, things that start with that are more open-ended and expansive. Questions that don't work as well in the Akashic records, that really cut off the energy a little bit more, are those that are like, when am I going to get married? When will I get that job? When will I know this or that? Because the Akashic records is not a psychic reading. So that is not, there may be things for the future, but it's not predictive in that way. All right. Okay, awesome. Jorge, I see your questions. I'll get to that after I share this message from the record keepers that came through for everyone. Trust in yourself, oh dear ones. Trust in yourself. What you have at your core essence is like a piece of gold of utmost beauty and is meant to be savored, shared, and taken care of with the utmost respect and care. This precious connection is one that is to be honored and connected with daily and as often as possible. Some of you don't realize it yet. This beautiful, cherished connection that already exists within and of you. To strengthen this connection, we invite you to visualize, and I'm inserting here a little bit. If you want to follow along and you want to close your eyes and visualize this, they did lead a little bit of a visualization. So, so visualize a piece of gold or your favorite and most precious gemstone or a gold ball of light energy inside of you at your heart and in your heart space. Breathe into it and connect with it. Connect with what it is that you're seeing there. And with each exhale, see, feel, and or know that it is expanding. Allow yourself to connect to the peace, the pure peacefulness in each moment with each breath. And smile, knowing that this connection is always, always with you. And so it is. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes if they were closed. Such a beautiful message to support us on this journey today. All right. Let's get into the readings. I have a feeling that today might be a shorter live because since I do these on the 11th and the 22nd, whenever they fall is whenever they fall. So being that it's a Friday night for some of you, or even into Saturday morning if you are on the other side of the world, I know that now we're getting into weekend time. So we might be a little bit shorter time frame today than what we typically do. All right. Jorge Ruiz, I'm going to go to your question now. And Mario, thank you for coming. I'm so grateful you're here. Mario says, love you, Jenny. Thank you for everything you do. It's so selfless, so authentic, and so educational. So grateful you are here, and I feel that, and I receive that. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you and all of your support and generosity as well. All right. Jorge, I'm going to connect to you specifically, so give me one moment. Mm. I'm feeling the love in this connection. So, yes, Jorge, typically I do need your full name, but I pulled what I can see here from YouTube. That's what I pulled, and that's usually what I do on these live readings so that that way there is still an opportunity for privacy. And if you were to book a private one-on-one reading, yes, I would take your full legal name. All right. So his question is, and anybody else who's here, if you have a question you want answered, go ahead and drop it in the chat. And Mario, if you're still here, you can also drop one in the chat as well, even though we've already worked one-on-one together. I really want to know why I'm here and what was designed for so I can start to fully commit to my life. I want to know how, from a soul level, why I'm here. Ivy, hi. Okay. Okay, so the way that this is coming through, Jorge, is very grounded and clear. You are here to get to know yourself at a deeper level and to, okay, so yes, Ivy, you can. So to get to know yourself at a deeper level and to, I'm trying to figure out the words to explain what this is. So it's like from a soul level, from the path of your soul, the way that you have come into different experiences as your soul is incarnated in different time periods. You have come in ways in previous, they don't even want me to say previous because time is irrelevant. So here's how they want me to put it. So it's like you've come in previous in other incarnations that you in those incarnations you hadn't fully allowed yourself the space to get to know yourself deeper at a soul level. And so in this lifetime, in this time here in this human body, that is a huge part of your experience here to really allow yourself to go deeper internally to get to know yourself here in this human experience and get to know yourself on a soul level and to be super mindful of the distractions and the things along the way that are part of that kind of pull you away from doing this. And that is a big part of the work here. I'm feeling short of breath here. Um, yeah, I'm just going to share that for now. They're not telling me anything else about that. So let me see what else they want to share with you. Okay, so also part of your in this human incarnation of you being here is that you for you to experience love and experience all facets of love, all angles of love, all experiences of love. So this is both on a physical like human experience and feeling that, and this is also on a soul experience and to experience all of the dimensions of love, all of the experiences of love. And this goes beyond what we typically perceive in the 3D realm as like, I'm in love with somebody and this is who I love and this is how I love my family. This is deeper than that. This is more of a full expression of you allowing yourself to be love, feel love, receive love, and explore all of the different aspects of that. And they're also sharing that a big part of what will help you with this, both of these things in general, is you, um this is how they're sharing it, breaking the chains of limitation in the mind and how you perceive things and how you experience things and how you interact with things, especially in the 3D day-to-day life that you live. It's like, part of the experience is continuing to see things for what's really there and not how they've been perceived. It's as if there has been a filter in a way of the way that you have experienced your world and the way that you have experienced the things around you. There's been a filter. And so you've seen it through a certain filter. And so therefore, what you see is. And they're sharing that part of that is letting go of the filters, trying on different filters, and eventually having no filter in which you see the world, because then you're going to see more depth of what's there. You're going to see the truth of what's really there, and you're going to be able to connect energetically more to the resonance of where and what your next steps are. Like there's a removing these filters just helps you to see more clearly. And it's as if like when these filters are on, there's a habit, there's a cycle that's been playing out in your life or in different time frames of your life where the decisions that you have made, as if like they've had the filter of somebody else. They're not saying who, but I'm giving examples. Like it's had the filter of a parent or a friend or a colleague. I don't know. It's had a filter of somebody. So like that filter's been there and that's the way the decision has been made versus it being truly your essence and your experience. And they're bringing me back. They're saying this goes back to what they were sharing about getting to know your soul at a deeper level and really getting to know yourself at a deeper level, because that is what is there without the filters. Without those filters, that is what is there. Yes, yes. Oh, you're going to get a little bit more of an experience here. I'm going to see what else is here. And actually, since you're here until Ivy or someone else types in a question, or Mario or whoever, you can ask another question, Jorge, if you'd like, and I'll continue with you here for a second question. Since we do have a lighter crowd tonight. Tonight for me, maybe morning for others or middle of the night. They're also showing too, Jorge, that like with this, there's a lot of expansion that's going to happen. And I love how this all ties together because they're bringing me back to the message that was shared as a collective message for all. There's something there for you as well. And then even to something I said at the beginning too, of like, you're not going to recognize yourself in a good way here in the future. Like you're going to look back and be like, wow, like I am so different and I'm experiencing myself at a whole different level. Okay, so Jorge, your next question was, a cat just decided to make a home at our place. I don't know his name or where he came from. Well, we'll tune in and see what's here, what can be shared, what can you know about this cat? Okay, so I heard a couple of different things. So it's like there's like a lesson from this cat, and it feels like this cat's only going to be in your life for a short period of time. Time is irrelevant, so they're not saying if that's a couple seconds or many years. Like a short period of time is how they're showing it. And there is like they keep showing me a vision of you like watching and observing the cat and observing its mannerisms, observing how it interacts with the world, how it views the world, observing its sovereignty. Yeah, that's all they want me to share on that. I was going to say a couple other things. They're like, nope, that's all he needs to know right now for that. And there's something too about connecting to, I guess, like the peacefulness of the essence of the cat, connecting to that. Okay, hardcore keepers are here because I am getting very warm. So I'm going to thank you, Jorge, for coming. And I appreciate you being here. I'm going to disconnect from your energy and go on to Ivy. Oh, Jorge says, I also have a dog that's very dear to me, and I really want feedback for him. As if, is he okay? Well, happy. And what would you like to share with me? Okay, Jorge, what I'll do is, because I've already said I'm going to disconnect, I'm going to go to Ivy and then Mario, And then if we have time and nobody else is putting questions, I'll totally come back. All right. As I'm like, so what I do, since I don't think you've been here yet, is what I do is I send like a white light around me to disconnect everything. And right before I shut down, it stopped. And they were saying, like, trust your instincts, trust your instincts, trust your instincts. Okay. All right, Ivy. Ivy, I barely have started even connecting to the prayer, and I was gonna finish connecting it because it's just part of my process and honoring that. And it's funny because like I was immediately hearing like they were like they were saying like they're waiting for you to connect to the Akashic records. Like they're waiting. Not just in this reading, like on your own. They're like, when are you gonna connect to the records? When are you gonna connect to the records? That was very prominent that came through. So let me check in and see if they want me just to roll with your question or continue the connection. Okay. So this is how I heard it because they're talking to me a bit like in my language. They're like, fuck it. Don't continue because it is time and um there's something here that I for me to mold and demonstrate to you, Ivy, as well as potentially others who are here on the live or replay. I just got chills when I saw your comment there. So to demonstrate the power of like following the nudges, the power of doing it in a way that isn't the way that you're supposed to, as long as you are grounded in who you are and what you're doing. So, Ivy said, I did mention last time I was going to, right? I honestly don't remember. Possibly. I don't like actually consciously remember. So, your question is, how am I doing so far? I love this because I do remember that this is how they were when we worked together one on one. Is they're like, "Well, dear, well, how do you think you are? How do you think you're doing?" Um, it's like funny that you shall ask. Because you're not here in front of me, unless you're super fight type fast typing and you put like a comment in, we can totally play off the comments with this. But like they're literally throwing this back at you. Um, oh, I mean, they're literally like in a loving way, they're like, "I can't believe you're asking this." Like, they're almost like, "Why are you taking the safe route? Why are you taking the safe route?" It feels like it maybe has to do with a public forum or something else, I don't know, but it's like, "Why are you taking the safe route?" Um, because it's safe, and it's almost like there's maybe something here about, maybe being afraid in some level, even if it's not consciously, like, having a fear of what they might tell you or what like, what if they say no, or what if they don't tell me this, or what if they don't tell me that? Something like that. Like, it feels like there's maybe a bit of a hesitation as to ask what's really on your mind, what's really present, what's really there, what you really want to know. And they're sharing that remember that everything is in your highest and best good, and it's not to like there's no ill will or hurtfulness or anything like that that would come through with any message. So I'm going to give you a second, or maybe you're typing it in right now. What do you really want to ask? Hi, Julie. So it's funny because, Ivy, while you're typing or maybe while you're thinking, I am seeing I am seeing, like, them, like, hit, like, a watch and be like, "Akashic Records, Akashic Records, come connect, come connect, come connect." Like, in a loving way, like, the way I'm delivering it sounds a little bit like the tone I'm doing, but they're just like, "We're here. We're ready. We're ready when you are." You just keep putting it off unintentionally. Okay, so they're saying this is your warm, loving nudge and reminder. And they are sharing with me that you and I need to talk because I don't think you were here on the beginning when I was sharing that I'm going to be training people on how to access the records for themselves and others. So it's possible that that could be a part of something that gives you a container to move through that, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm not feeling into that right now because this doesn't feel like the right space. But I wanted to at least mark this down. So for some reason I forgot. By the end of this reading, then there was yeah. Like, so, sending you love, Ivy. I don't see you writing any other questions. If you do here in the next few seconds, I will go to that and I will, if not, I'll close off and then connect to Mario. And if anybody else is on and they have a question, like Julie, if you're still here and you have a question, go ahead and type it in the chat. I know today is we have less people on because it's Friday. I mentioned it last time we talked. Oh, I do remember that now. I do remember that. I have a vague memory of that now that you said it. Um, I do vaguely remember that. It's coming much clearer now, Ivy. So, I actually got a framework today that I channeled when I connected with them today, which is really cool. All right, Ivy, I'm going to disconnect. I have no other questions. I just want to say hi. Well, it sounded like they were waiting for you, and they're like, "Hi, come on." It was like the little nudge you needed. Okay, thank you, Ivy, for going. Mm. Ivy, your energy is so fun and playful. All right. Mario, I am coming to you, my friend. Let's see. Aw. He said my vague question is just because I gained so much from our session, Jenny. And by all means, no worries getting to my question. Well, we have time, so I'm definitely going to come to your question um, and gift this additional whatever message is here for your highest and best good. Sorry, I got distracted. Just saw my husband came in and grabbed one of his hats. All right, that took a little extra minute because the thing with my husband was distracting, so I had to recenter myself so that I could purely be here and connect. So Mario, let's see. Let me go up and see what your question was. I'd like to ask for anything they can offer at this point in my journey. Yes, let's just see what is here for you, what message is in your highest and best good today. Oh, I see there are friends being made in the comments, which is awesome. So I will say as I was connecting to you, and I really don't remember, I'm really curious if this came through before we did our one-on-one reading, is, um, the guides that were there, like, you have some guides that showed up. It feels like they showed up again, but I don't consciously remember. They showed up, and the guides that showed up are very, like, regal and strong in nature. They feel like they're knights, like that type of energy, Knights, like knights, like, something along those lines. I'm not getting another word for it right now, but, like, they came in strong. Um, yeah, like, I just saw them standing, like, straight up and strong there for you. So let's see what message is in your highest best good today. So they're starting off by sharing, like, we see you. We see that you've anchored in. We see that you've anchored in to an even deeper trust and knowingness within yourself. Like, there's something that is, like, clicked into place is how they're showing it. It's almost like if someone were cracking a safe and they're trying to hear, like an expert safe cracker, and they were trying to hear that when it falls into place, and then they can open the door or open the safe. It's like that. It's almost like something is like and clicked into place for you. And it has to do with mm, they're sharing it's like it has to do with like the peacefulness in the knowing that what you say holds value and holds strength, and how you show up holds value and strength. It's as if this has been more deeply rooted into your essence and into your being. And they're showing that it's like it's made things easier for you. It's like things that maybe were slightly challenging before are now like easy, and they're flowing, and you're not noticing where those things that used to hold you up are holding you up, because it's flowing and it's happening in that way. Um, they're also sharing, like, they're showing like a vision of you walking on a path, and on this path it's they're showing it now. It's like going into like similar to like a yellow brick road, like in Wizard of Oz. So it's like a yellow brick road type of path, and they're showing you walking on it, like how it's like very intentional, and it's not in a fast pace. It's not how they start in the movie where they skip around and go. It is a very intentional, smooth, and swift step by step that you are taking on this path. And what's interesting too is it's not that you're really at the beginning of that path, like the yellow brick road or whatever. You're not even there. It's like the path has already been set, and it's as if you have it's as if, like, the steps before were maybe, like, haphazard or, um, not intentional, or, like, jumping around. I don't know. It's like it just seems like the steps is before weren't as fluid, and now, like, you come into this place where it's really fluid, so it's like it's just as if the yellow brick road is just, like, um unfolding before your eyes, and at the same time, like, there's such a peacefulness in your steps that there's no need to see all the way ahead to the end of the yellow brick road, or to see where it leads you, or to even see more than, like, what you need to see in front of you. He's saying, "Just incredible. My connections with people have been off the charts beautiful." I'm so grateful for that. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a support. Mario, I'm so grateful for you. I'm going to disconnect and go to Julie next. And if you're on live and you have a question that hasn't been, if I haven't got to you yet, and you want me to get to you, then drop your question in the chat. And after Julie, if, or I'm sorry, Jorge, if no one else types in a question, I'll come back to your question about the dog. I'm going to disconnect, Mario. Thank you so much. And I love, by the way, I love that y'all on the YouTube world are all connecting with each other like, "Hi, hi, hi." It's so cool. I think it's so cool. Mm, that was cool. Mary, as I disconnected, I saw those knights again, like your spirit guide knights, like, I saw them again, standing in a very similar way as I was disconnecting, so that was really cool. Alright, Julie. Hmm. You're welcome, Mario. Julie, I'd like to know whether I have any particular people in my life with whom I need to resolve something. Um, oh, I'm being reminded of when I was connecting to you. It was interesting because I just felt such a busyness. There was like a busy, as if, I don't know if it's like you're like moving around really fast or if it's metaphorical, but like there was like a busyness, is what I kept getting. Like I kept seeing just like fast walking and busy, 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 that type of like an energy. So let's see whether you have any particular people in your life with whom you need to resolve anything. Okay, they're like, dear one, you will always have people in your life that you need to resolve something with. And not because there is anything innately or divinely wrong with you or your experience or your journey or your path. It is because there are people who are meant to come across your path, who are meant to um, bring up things that remind you and help you to um, um, like heal. Every word that I'm saying to explain this is not it. So give me a second, see if they'll give me the word because I've tried a couple different ones and they're like, nope, nope, nope. Okay. So they want me to say it like this: for you to heal your soul frequency and the timeline and the timelines that are a part of it. And this isn't a healing and that like there's anything wrong with you. This is more of like this is more energetic. So it's like there's people and experiences that will come up that you will in fact need to resolve things with, but it's more from a soul journey and a soul experience. It's more from that perspective. It's more from that energy and frequency than it has anything to do with like the typical constructs of the mind when it comes to resolving things with people, is how they're sharing it. And they're also sharing here that remember that a lot of things can be resolved by first resolving things within you and things inside of you and things um like in your inner world and your experience, like that, the energy and the frequency of doing that is, they're showing it like it create the way that they're saying it and showing is that like it creates ripples on your timeline. It creates ripples on your timeline in a good way. It's almost as if like, okay, so this is how I'm going to explain it. These are not the exact words that they are saying. Like if you were here in front of me, I would know if you were like, if you understood it or not. So I'm adding this next thing is like, only because the words I'm saying don't make sense. Ripples, that's not it. Okay, so it's like you coming back and resolving something in you. It's like there's energetic shifts and changes. Oh, I just got chills. I feel this one. It's like there's shifts and changes that happen by you doing that. And not even necessarily in relation to someone specifically. It could be, but it's not. It doesn't have to be to someone specifically. It's like you coming back home and coming to a peace within you about the things, all the things, like anything. This is also for all of us, for to resolve things within ourselves. And by resolving those things in ourselves, ripples are created. Like free, like it's felt. That's what the ripples mean. Like it's felt on an energetic level by others. This keeps coming up, and they want me to share uh, a personal experience to help explain and demonstrate. So I had some challenges with my mom, and there was a lot of friction and tension with my mom for a couple years. And there was a lot of learning and work and things that I did that I, let's just use the words that they were using, I resolved within me. But it's even more than that, where I came into a peace and acceptance for what is, and not necessarily what I thought it should be or could be, and not holding on to an attachment of what was or anything like that. And it's very interesting because this is not what I was trying to do, but it's like as I resolved that within me and I came into this place where I said, um, you know what, I'm at peace with this situation. If I never talk to my mom again, I'm grateful. I forgive myself. I forgive her. Like all of that was a part of it. But it was like this, if I never talk to her again, I'm at peace with that. And it was like in that space, I kid you not, that day, she texted me. Once again, this was not a part of what was there, but she texted me and she was like, "Hey, I'm sorry for how things have been. Things have been this way and that way. Do you want to meet up?" And I was blown away. It's like, that's an example. It doesn't have to be your story, but that's an example they wanted me to share. Let me see if there's anything else they want to share here with you, Julie, with this. Hmm. The last thing that they're sharing, Julie, is they're sharing that give yourself time to grieve. Give yourself time to grieve and to feel and like allow the emotions to run through you and to be present and allow yourself this space to grieve. Powerful. Oh, I just got chills. Oh my God. I felt that. Julie, I felt that. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for your question. Thanks for being here. I'm going to disconnect and move on to the next one. I do see that Colleen is here. Hello, hello. I think you may have hopped on one of the other ones. I don't remember if we ended up doing. I'll sit with the grief. Thank you. You're welcome. Colleen, there you go. You got a question in. Janice, if you have a question, you can pop it in the chat. We probably have time for maybe a couple more. Yes, I think I've got to everybody. Okay. Okay, I don't know why this keeps happening today. So, Julie, as I was disconnecting from you, they have one more message to share. Connect to your angels. Connect with your angels. Connect with your angels. Okay. Ask them for support. Ask them for support in helping you navigate with grace and ease the next steps of your journey, the next steps of involvement, the next steps of embodiment. Connect with your angels. This is so funny today. Usually when I disconnect, like I'm able to disconnect. Julie, they're still talking to you. So apparently they didn't like me moving on to the next question. I had a few more things to share. So I saw the colors purple and blue specifically. Okay, so they want to share that, Julie, this is for Julie. Know that you are loved, know that you are cherished, know that you are guided with each and every step you take. There is no need to have doubt or uncertainty in the steps. There's no need to fear what is ahead. There's nothing to fear, my dear, because you are in fact held and loved. This is a big part of the continuation of your awakening and the deepening of um like they're showing it like I don't know, they're showing it the way they're showing it is like a birthing out through like a lotus flower, like as if in the middle it's like this new birthing of you, this beautiful birthing of you out, um is the vision that I'm getting. You are loved, you are loved, you are loved. Anchoring in the love and the knowing that you are loved and the trust that you are loved, both from like angels and guides and spirits, as well as yourself, your higher self, your soul, all of that. Like you are loved so deeply and anchoring in that. And they're saying you already know this, but there's something energetically about the actual intention of doing that. Okay, let me check with them and see if there's anything else, or if I can go ahead and disconnect and move on to Colleen. Um, okay, they're like, that is all for now, and they're specifically inviting you to come back when you're ready. Um, this is how they're saying it, like for more. Um, I don't love the word healing, but they're like the more like for more energetic healing and guidance. And so I'm going to add this on because I've not said this on a live before, is whether you come back with me or you connect to the records yourself or you work with another Akashic record reader, when that comes through and says, connect back to us for more to move, like there you have like a soul appointment with the Akashic records specifically, like in a larger period of time. This doesn't feel like one question that you're going to answer and think like it almost feels like you're going to book with somebody, whether it's me or someone else. Like you're going to book time where I have so many chills where a lot is going to shift and move for you. And a lot of it's going to be on from an energetic standpoint. And it's like the word healing keeps coming up. So I'm going to honor that healing keeps coming up because maybe that's something that resonates with you. But it's like there's a huge healing and there's like a huge shift when you're ready to reconnect back with the records in this way. So once again, I'm not sitting here being like, oh my God, there's more for you. Look, a reading with me. Cool. I'm here for you. If that's where you feel guiding, you feel like the soul appointment is with me, or however it feels, it's for you to take and for you to take those next steps accordingly. Okay. Sending you love. And yes, your guides are chatty. I'm like, no, 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 no. Oh, Trina, hi. Janice. Well, here I thought this was going to be a shorter live, but like everybody's hopping on towards the end of the hour. So I'm going to keep filling in and see if we will go over time or if we'll cut at the hour. I know that Colleen is next. Let me just check here. Hi, Ward. Julie, you are very welcome. Let's see. Mario said, keep shining, Jenny. Have a wonderful weekend. Oh, he said, I fell asleep to your amazing podcast last night and finished it this morning. An absolute gem. So much love and gratitude for what you do. Yeah, if you guys don't know, I do have a podcast. It's currently called the Life of Interest Podcast. I am going to be having a whole new name and like vibe cover for the podcast very soon. I finally had the name drop in, so I'm working on the design and all of that. I'm so excited because the Life of Interest does not match to what I'm talking about, but it's what's there. So more to come on that. Hey, Serena. Okay, so let me get to Colleen. Let me disconnect from Julie officially. At the end, they were like, Julie, they were like, goodbye, 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 like sending you kisses. But it was like a for real goodbye. It's like almost like they wanted to like hold on to the last drop as like the curtain was closing. All right, it's Colleen. What's interesting, Colleen, is as I'm connecting using like the prayer here to connect you, I have not read your question yet. I'm hearing them say, like, Colleen, you don't even need us today. Like, you don't even really need us for the question that you're asking because you already know. Trust in yourself and trust in the process. Trust in what has been shown to you. And they're also showing me the color teal, specifically the color teal. Um, they're also sharing that they're sharing that there's just something, I don't know, with whatever has to do with your question, I don't know, but like it's like there's wait, don't make any decisions right now. Wait until after tomorrow. Like let tomorrow pass and at the earliest Sunday, but it feels like just wait and let things simmer and set the intentions and I don't know, something along those lines and then connect back and feel back into it starting next week. But they're like, just wait, don't do anything until after this, at least Saturday, if not this weekend. They're also showing, once again, I haven't looked at your question, so I'm just sharing what's here. They're also showing that you have a really big divine council around you. And the way they're showing it is like in a circle, and they're showing it like I'm seeing them all specifically in like white robes and gowns is how I'm seeing it, as a circle around you. You have a divine council supporting you. They're okay, so it's like this divine council. I have the energy of this, so I'm going to do my best to explain it. And if they stop me along the way, I will just use different words. So it's like there's uh, okay, so this divine council that's with you, they're saying that you're ready to connect with them even deeper, even further, to be able to connect to them not only for yourself but for your clients and to channel the divine wisdom and the divine messages from this divine council and to continue to or start building a relationship with them because they are here. You are ready. The time is now. The time is ready. Um, yeah, it's like they're waiting on you and they're just waiting for you to say yes. Say yes. This also feels like it is for sure a soul assignment. Um, and I'm hearing too, I wanna this is me adding, like, of course, there's always free will, but it's like there is, time is of the essence. Like, time is of the essence. Like, this is meant to happen, and it's just it's time is of the essence. Okay. So, I don't see you've wrote any comments in, and, I'm curious. I'm gonna go up to your question here and see, Colleen, you said, "I'm feeling the need to bring my healing studio and services home. Do the records show anything about that? I feel a shift in my services for sure." Yeah, it's funny. They're like, um, it's interesting because they're sharing with me. They're like, "Why did you do that? We already handled this." Like I can hear them talking to me in a loving way. They're like reading the question, yes, like fueled your curiosity mind, but it was absolutely unnecessary because we already addressed it. I already addressed it, and they shared the message that was meant for you today. Thanks, Colleen, for asking. I see Mario's heading out, Ivy's heading out. Bye, bye. Thank you for coming. Um, timing about the angel question was in sync though. Oh, okay. Colleen, thank you for coming. Let me disconnect from you. Checking the time. Let's see who else we've got on here. I love it. Thank you. You're welcome. I love how I learn something every time. And Colleen, through that experience, I was taught something and it deepened my trust with myself as I continue to unfold and continue to do this. Let's see. I think that I think we have Janice and Serena. Okay, so I'm going to do Janice and Serena. Let me disconnect from Colleen, and those will be our final two before I disconnect today for sure. All right, give me a second. Okay. Colleen, I feel it's the Ascended Masters. Very cool. I want to hear more about. I'm curious as you continue to figure that out. I want to hear more about that. Sounds cool. But I'm not connected anymore to that. Although I'm sure if I tuned in, I could probably hear something. Okay. Who are we on? I just got sidetracked. Oh, Janice. Okay. Oh, I'm being reminded. So, if you weren't here at the beginning, I was sharing that I knew this was going to happen at some point on my journey, but I thought it was going to be way in the future. And that is teaching others how to access the Akashic Records for themselves and for others. And so I have my very first group experience that I'm going to be leading here very soon. Now, this experience is going to be very specific where it's going to be a smaller group of people. I'm going to be live channeling everything, like all of the content, all the experience is going to be channeled in the moment and as we go. So I have the outline for what we're going to be doing, and I don't have the finer details. And of course, after we run through the first time, then I will have more concrete details as it continues to evolve and what that looks like. So right now is really for those. I'm speaking to those at a soul level. I'm calling out to your soul. If this is something that is you're drawn to and you want to explore, reach out to me and we can see if it's a good fit energetically for both of us, if it's good timing, all of that. So I'm going to share that. All right, Janice, connecting to you, my dear. All right, Janice, what are the angels trying to tell me? I've been seeing numbers everywhere. So have you and so many of my clients, and I'm sure many others. So let's see. I'm really excited to see what they want to share for this and what comes through. Okay, so they're sharing that a lot of what you are being invited into is stepping into more play and more playfulness freedom in your life. And for you to connect to connecting to like the playfulness and the playfulness freedom. Okay, so they're also sharing that you can use the numbers as a portal and as portals that help you to shift your energy and get out of like the state that you were in before seeing the number. And you can use that as a point to call in and engage a different state. And so as an example, they're sharing, it's like you're real serious about something. I don't know, you're working on something and then you see a number and you're like, oh, that's an opportunity. That's an invitation for me to invite more fun and play, or however that falls out for you. But that's an example. They're also sharing that you're on a very beautiful journey of soul ascension. There is so much yet to unfold for you. There's a lot of really beautiful things that are yet to unfold for you. And so they're like, don't rush the process, and to acknowledge and appreciate where you are at in that process, where you are at. Like, what they're showing me is they're showing me like this timeline, which of course, free will, you can change anything you want, but it's like they're showing me this timeline. And so it's like, on the timeline, this hand would be like beginning and this hand is end. Okay, so like on the timeline, you're kind of like, there's all this beautiful stuff outside of you. You're kind of like towards the beginning of the timeline, I guess. It's like, but it's like not jumping ahead too far and like wishing you were somewhere else besides exactly where you are. They're also showing me that it's so beautiful. Getting the words here. Okay, this is how they want me to say it. You are an angel in disguise. And it's not because you're trying to hide it. It's like, okay, they just want me to say that you are an angel in disguise, and knowing that, but it has nothing to do with hiding. And more is the words are more of an activation for you. Okay, so that concludes today, Janice. So thank you so much for asking. It's fun for what it's worth. Here's another little fun angel number. It's 707 here. So seeing another one here for you as a potential message. Going to end with Serena, and then we're going to close out. Okay. Yay, Serena. Okay, good. I'm glad you said that because I should have asked that. Oh, Colleen said Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Isis, and more. Ooh, fun. All right. Trina said goodbye. Wanted to pop on and watch you work. How fun. We'll connect on Instagram after, although she's not here to hear that. All right, Serena, just scrolling up to your question. All right, let me connect in. My mind is questioning this, Serena, but I heard them say, like, open up, Serena, open up, open up. So let me see what your question was. Let's see. Would you see what they have to say about the launch that I'm doing? Okay, so there's a couple things that came in with this. So I'm hearing like like trinkets and things and bows, and they showed me a vision of similar to like a watchmaker, a cuckoo clock maker or something in their shop. Kind of reminds me of Pinocchio's Geppetto shop where there's like tons of stuff everywhere. It's like that type of thing, and there's like this tinkering thing. They're showing that. There was something else that came in. Let me see if I can get that back. So it's like the energy of like there's no more tinkering that's needed. Like it's ready. There's nothing else to work on. There's nothing else to do. There's nothing else um from like the tinkering from that energy. There's like nothing else, which I don't know if you're tinkering, but it's like that's the word that I'm using here is like they're like coming out of hiding from the thing. Like it's like I'm gonna do my best to explain this what I'm seeing here. So it's like they're just showing me for the way to explain it. It's like in Geppetto shop or whatever, they're showing like tinkering, right? And it's like Geppetto doesn't really go out into the world and like still people come by his stuff, but it's almost like he has so much stuff in there, all of the things that he has, all the I don't know why I'm seeing cuckoo clocks with this, but it's like I'm seeing like all these like cuckoo clocks, and I know that this metaphor might not completely match with the way that it is in the movie or whatever the show, but it's like um there's all these cuckoo clocks and it's like these tinkering and it's like there's keeps making things and it keeps going up on the walls, which keeps adding to the clutter in the experience. And so if in this vision it's like if Geppetto or whatever were to leave the workstation and go out and show all of these masterpieces and like happily show, not like, oh, I really want to go back to my shop, but like happily go out and show and talk to people and expose all of that, then there wouldn't be as much clutter in that shop. There would be there may be a couple things, but it would be on a beautiful display and it would be more of a it wouldn't be as cluttered, right? So there wouldn't be like, because I just keep seeing in this space, like I keep seeing like the hunched over tinkering versus like the open up expanding, and then there's no need to tinker. It's like the burdens, the weight, the energy on there, it's like there's no need to tinker. You said open up is correct. I've been tinkering for a long time. LOL. There's a lot of energy moving to this. Like I'm burping a little bit, and I'm even feeling like a little bit dizzy with this, which is interesting the way that the energy is interacting here. They're showing me like a shift in your energy. A shift from like the tinkering Geppetto into the full, most beautiful, amazing expression of who you are. And that all coming out more. I just heard it's time for you to shine. It's time for you to share. It's as if like you've been in hiding. You've kind of closed yourself off in some way where it's like it's time to really go out there in a very there's like an energetic alignment here with it where it's like a very aligned way. It's yeah, it has to do it's just kind of like not going out yet Geppetto is still tinkering in the office. It's like Geppetto comes with you, rolls back the shoulders, opens up the heart and opens up everything, and like you both go out together. So I'm gonna trust that's resonating. It was an interesting visual, is what they shared, but I'm gonna trust that's resonating with you. I'm excited for what's next for you, because the energy of it, like when walking out of that, like the energy of that is really light and expansive and like intentional and powerful, like that there. Yeah. All right. So that concludes what they're sharing today. Thank you so much for asking. And yes, I think, like you said up a bit before, wow, I didn't realize it was far up, but you were like, I surfed in again. We keep intertwining. Yes, yes, yes. All right, disconnecting. All right. Serena, well, at least they gave me something. Just about to step all the way out. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so powerful when you do. And the thing is, it's like, you know, because you've experienced this multiple times in your soul path, as well as in your like lifetime here. Like, you've experienced what that feels like. And so it's like, you know what it feels like. You know what it feels like. And so, and it's funny that this is happening like a million times today, where it's like I disconnect and there's still stuff they're sharing. So it's like the must just be the way it's going today. So they're like, you this time is going to be different, Serena. This time is going to be different than anything you've experienced before in the past. It's like they're saying it's all coming together, that it's like there's I have the feeling, give me a second to pull the words. It's like there's energetically, everything is going to be woven in with all of your wisdom and the embodiment of that. Like there's something that's going to be deeper and more expansive when you do step all the way out. Like there's going to be something that's going to be really juicy and feel good for that. All right, going to disconnect this time for sure. So all right, everyone. See a couple people. Yes, I have. Oh, wonderful. Yay. I see a couple more people jumped on. Michelle asked a question, and Stacy with the Universe Empowerment Connector. All right. So thank you guys for coming. We are at almost an hour 20. I am definitely tapped. I'm practicing. I want to give so much, and I just want to keep staying here. And each time, my little doggy, each time that I do, I can always feel it when I go over time, because I want to give, and I wish that I could be here for 2 hours or something and just keep giving for everybody who hops on. But these live readings actually wear me out more than if I were to do like 5 one-on-one readings in a day. I think it's because I have more time to completely disconnect and recharge my energy between. So as much as I would love to, give back to Stacy and Michelle, you guys will just have to come to one of my next free live mini readings. I do them on the 11th and the 22nd of every month. I do see that Stacy's on YouTube. So if you're not already subscribe on YouTube. And Michelle, if you can subscribe on YouTube so you're notified, or just keep following me on Facebook and find out that way. So this guy's so cute, isn't he? So yeah, you can come on those. On the 11th, I do it at 11 a.m. Eastern. On the 22nd, I do it at 7 p.m. Eastern. And thank you. No worries. You are incredible. Thank you all for coming. I love doing this. As always, you can book one-on-one readings with me if you want your own personalized time and you want to go deeper. There's so much that happens, especially in a one-on-one reading. Like, it's amazing. It's incredible what all happens there as far as like the energy work and the messages that come through. You could probably even see it on my face, like I'm fading. So I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye.